What's up everybody, welcome back. So as we get into our final few sets of the Master League Premier Cup, we're going to be bringing the heat because we're going to be trying out a double fire line, basically featuring Pyroar and Arcanine. Now Pyroar is probably not the best pick as far as Master League is concerned. In fact, across any leagues, it's pretty glassy. But if you can use it as a closer while baiting out the fire type with Arcanine, then it can actually function pretty well. So for this team comp, I'm going to be using Garchomp as the lead, with Arcanine as the safe swap and Pyroar as the closer, and we were able to go positive. So let's just get straight into it. So we have Garchomp into a bear tick, absolutely terrible lead, and they make a switch into their waterfall Gyarados. The good thing is Arcanine has access to wild charge, so I'm actually going to build up 2 wild charges here, and they let that go through. That just one shots the Gyarados. That is absolutely perfect. Bear tick comes back in. I'm going to go for another wild charge here, and wild charge does get the shield and also ends up being a CMP tie. This is like perfect for me because at this point I can just let this go through, and they're still switch locked in this matchup. So Pyro is going to be able to come in, and this lion is absolutely chewing through this bear right now, showing Beartic who the real king of the jungle is. I'm definitely gonna have to shield this because Surf is super effective, but I'm gonna be able to farm all the way down. As you can see, these Fire Fangs are absolutely chunking. Unfortunately, they have a Tyranitar in the back. And with this moveset, Pyro kind of gets walled by Tyranitar, but luckily we do get a shield as well, which is perfect. But even if we didn't, it's a smackdown Tyranitar, and Garchomp is gonna always be able to close it out, right? So gonna shield this Crunch just to be safe here. Luckily, we don't get the defense debuff, and I'm gonna go for the Earth Power, and that's gonna KO the Tyranitar there. So, like I said, Arcanine with this moveset, I'm not running any fire moves on Arcanine because I'm using it as a safe swap typically to counter like the safe swaps that they use against potential counters they have to fire types. And with Crunch and Wild Charge, you're going to be able to hit for neutral across the board, right, against a lot of different Pokemon there. So moving into the next battle here, we have a Garchomp into a Snorlax. I'm going to stay in, soak up a Body Slam, then switch into my Arcanine here. And now they make a switch into their Primarina. Now Primarina isn't really a solid response to an Arcanine because those charms are resisted. And once again, we build up to 2 Wild Charges here. Wild Charge almost one-shots the Primarina. And at this point, I'm going to overfarm a little bit more, go for the Crunch. And I don't have to go for the Wild Charge because Crunch would KO from this range. They realize that and they do let that go through. Out comes Snorlax. I'm going to go for another Wild Charge here. And as you can see, with Snarl as the fast move, the energy generation is absolutely insane on Arcanine. I'm pretty sure some of you or most of you might have already tried it out. Arcanine, actually, you can't really sleep on it. I'm surprised that people are not running as many Arcanines because I really think this thing has definitely a lot more play, right? But whereas Pyroar, on the other hand, not the best pick, but it's definitely a lot of fun to use. Those licks are resisted, which is why I come in with Pyroar. Hopefully, I can be able to farm all the way down here. And let's see what they have in the back. And they have a Lycanroc in the back. That is some real spice right there. That's a midnight farm Lycanroc. But it's really cool to see, but that's okay because we have a Garchomp, and I'm going to go for the Sand Tomb to get the second shield. And yeah, they give up the shield as well, and at this point, this game is over, right? Because these Dragon Tails are absolutely adding up. They're probably just going to go for the Psychic Fang shield bait, but I'm just going to shield this up because we're easily going to be able to outpace them to the next move. And they decide to concede the match there. So moving into the next one here, we have Garchomp into a Dragonite. Now this is where it can be a little bit tricky. Now the thing is, we lagged a little bit. If you don't lag initially, you're actually going to be able to shield once and Dragon Tail all the way down, right? Especially against a Dragon Breath Dragonite. Against a Dragon Tail Dragonite, that can be a little bit more tricky. But they make a switch into their Swampert. Now this is real trouble for me because this team has no answers to Swampert except for Garchomp. So I'm going to stay in as much as I can, going for another Sand Tomb here. I'm not even trying to bait. I just want to get the debuff off so that these Dragon Tails really start adding up. I'm going to have to shield this. I can't allow any of my backline to go up against the Swampert. And we're going to try and Dragon Tail down here. Unfortunately, they get to another Hydro Cannon. Now, this is not good at all for me because Swampert is easily going to be able to outpace both Arcanine and Pyroar, right? I'm going to come in with my Arcanine because Arcanine can at least tank a Hydro Cannon, whereas Pyroar really can't. Hydro Cannon almost one-shots, and now they make a switch in their Excadrill. I'm going to go into my Pyroar, but unfortunately with a shield disadvantage, Pyroar is absolutely going to get destroyed. Drill Run just one-shots the Pyroar there. Going to come in with my Arcanine. I'm not sure what I'm even doing. I should have just hit top left there, but I was just going to try and play it out. Going for a second Crunch with 1 HP, but this game is pretty much over right now. If you had Flamethrower, then we could have one-shot the Excadrill, but they still had like a full health Pokemon in the back, so there's no way that we were going to come back from that. So moving into the next one here, we met with another Dragonite. Once again, a little bit tricky, but we are going to stay in, and this time we don't lag, right? So this is really good for me because at this point, this time I actually decided to play it out a little bit differently, just in case they have a Swampert at the back. I need to bait it out, but we catch the Dragon Claw and the Arcanine, so I'm going to try and go for the Crunch. Unfortunately, we end up losing CMP, so I can't really afford to shield this. I'm going to have to let this go. A Dragon Claw is going to one-shot, but I'm going to be able to come back with my Garchomp and farm this thing all the way down, right? We're going to be able to Dragon Tail down before they can get to another move. And let's see what they have in the back. They are waiting out their switch clock quite a bit, and they come in with their Togekiss. So I'm going to go for the Sand Tomb just to stall out the switch clock, and then immediately going to try and switch in my Pyroar. Now, because their defense has been debuffed, these Fire Fangs are absolutely going to chunk, and they have a Metagross in the back. This is perfect. This is the exact situation that, you know, Pyroar can really shine, right? Going for the Flame Charge, they let that go through. Pretty much one-shots the Metagross there almost, and they have, and I guess they decided to sort of close the app or something. But anyways, this game is over, and I guess they decided to concede the match there. So finally, Pyroar coming in, doing something useful for a change. But anyways, moving into the next battle here, we met with another Dragonite on the lead. But this time, this Dragonite is running Dragon Tail, and that is not good at all because these Dragon Tails will also absolutely chunk. They go for the Dragon Claw, that's fine. But no, I'm sorry, they are running Dragon Claw Breath. We are running Dragon Tail, that's okay. And they have a Swampert. Okay, this time we're going to actually play it slightly differently. I'm actually going to go for the back-to-back Sand Tombs. And I'm actually going to sack one of my back Fire types, because I need to preserve the Garchomp to take out the Swampert, right? Because if Garchomp goes down, there's no way we're going to come back from this matchup. So I'm going to go for another Sand Tomb here to hopefully get a shield or do some big damage. We do get a shield, that's fine. At this point, I'm going to sack the Pyroar here. I'm just going to completely sack it. Hydro Cannon would probably one-shot. But they think that they need to go for the Earthquake. That is great for me because they wasted a bunch of energy. They probably weren't aware of Pyroar's tankiness, or the lack of it rather. But anyways, this is perfect for me because they can have a Metagross in the back, and we have a Garchomp, and I can just go straight for the Sand Tomb here. Sand Tomb does get the shield. I should be actually going for that second Sand Tomb. I was trying to go to the Earth Power, but we don't get the Earth Power. I'm coming in the Arcanine. They blind throw. So this is probably not going to be an Earthquake, and it's a Flash Cannon. I mean, that's very surprising because to see Metagross running Flash Cannon, typically most people run Medium Ash. Very few people run in Psychic, but you know, Flash Cannon was a real surprise for sure. But luckily we were able to take it out, and you know, a good thing is that we were able to beat Swampert as well, right? We were able to beat a Dragonite Swampert core. That's actually a Dragonite Metagross Swampert line, which is probably one of the best lines across, like, for a long time, right? Especially in the Master League Premier Cup there. So again, met with an absolutely terrible lead in Sylveon, but the good thing about Arcanine as the safe swap is the fact that you're going to be able to apply so much pressure, right? Especially because the Swampert was late in switching out. We were able to get so far ahead in energy, and then we were able to grab a shield as well, which is perfect. I'm going to let this go through. At this point, we've lost switch advantage, but we have a little bit of a shield advantage. And the good thing is that Sylveon is not a flying charmer, so Garchomp is still going to be able to hit pretty hard with Earth Power. I'm not going to shield this. I'm just going to preserve the shields for the Pyroar, and hopefully we can Dragon Tail down, but they make a switch into their Magna Zone. They probably realized that we have, they wanted to preserve their Swampert in case we had something weak to Swampert in the back, which they were right in doing so, but Magna Zone is definitely not a counter to Garchomp. Garchomp is probably one of the hardest counters to Magna Zone in the game. I'm going to be able to farm all the way down. I'm expecting the Sylveon to come back in, and the good thing is they are switch locked in this matchup, right? Because they just switched out, and I can just absolutely, as you can see, these Fire Fangs are really adding up on the Pyroar. I'm going to have to shield this up. Psyshock would do quite a bit of damage, and trying to get to this Flame Charge here. This Flame Charge should probably get the shield from the Sylveon, and they're probably going to try and switch out into their Swampert anytime soon. They come into their Swampert. At this point, I'm going to try and Fire Fang the Swampert down. I'm going to shield this up. I wasn't aware of how much energy this Swampert had, so I'm hoping that I can Fire Fang down, but they get to a Hydro Cannon. This is okay as well. Like I said, Garchomp is going to be able to do pretty well with an energy advantage against Sylveon, so we're going to be able to Dragon Tail down the Swampert, and we're going to go for the Earth Power against the Sylveon, and Earth Power is going to be more than enough to take out the Sylveon there. So you always want to see Sylveon rather than Togekiss. Any other charmer, whether be it Sylveon or Florges or Primarina, they all take quite a bit of damage from Earth Power, right? But anyways, moving into the next battle here, we have Garchomp into an Excadrill. This is absolutely perfect. I actually would rather have Garchomp going into Excadrill because this thing has the potential to one-shot the backline here. So going for the Sand Tomb Shield Bait here, it does get the shield obviously because Excadrill is so extremely glassy. They make an aggressive swap into Togekiss. I'm going to go into my Pyroar here. So Pyroar with Fire Fang is absolutely going to chunk the Togekiss. They're going to go for a charge move. I'm going to have to shield this up because Ancient Power would do quite a bit of damage. I'm going to shield that up, going for the Flame Charge here. And this is going to do quite a bit of damage against the Togekiss as it does there. And at this point, we can hopefully try and farm this thing all the way down. We're able to farm down. Let's see what they have in the back, right? They actually come in with their Metagross. Whatever they decided to come in, it was going to take massive damage anyway, but Metagross is definitely not a response to a Pyroar. We're going to go for the Flame Charge, and these Fire Fangs that are absolutely tearing through this Metagross. We're almost able to completely delete the Metagross, which is perfect. I'm going to come into my Arcanine because I expect them to blind throw a Meteor Mash. This is just going to be a Meteor Mash which is resisted because of the fire typing. And they make an aggressive swap into their Excadrill and try and combo play here, but we still have a shield. I'm going to shield this up, and then I'm going to try and come into my Garchomp, go for the Sand Tomb right now. And Sand Tomb is going to come close to taking out the Excadrill. I can actually farm this thing down with Dragon Tail, which is perfect for me because at this point they decide to concede the match there. So really close, as you can see. I mean, by and large, I kind of went positive with this team. I was like, I had like a 3 in 2 and a 4 in 1 set. Definitely not the best Pokemon to use as far as Master League or any other league is concerned. Pyroar is unfortunately just doesn't have the stats to sort of go up against the meta. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.